Oh my god. Oh my god, look at all the tadpoles. It's the eyeball. Oh, the eyeball prankster finally found me. Oh my god. This is nuts. What am I gonna do with all these frogs? Holy cow. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Block Breaking Season 2. In today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about my plans for my mega base. I've been designing it for a while in creative. Kind of just started, and I've been working on it lately, and I want to start showing you what my plans are. Alright, I've been making progress on my mega base, so let me show you what I've been up to. So this is... Whoa. Hey, whoa. What the heck? What? Oh my lord, what is going on? Oh, I bet I know who did this. I think Average just made a zombie pig XP farm. Oh, this is so funny. So anybody who doesn't realize what this is, there's a mod on our server where if you put a mob head on an armor stand that's on a half slab, it creates like a statue of it. And then that, combined with the animation mod that I have, or resource pack, look at, they're like swaying in unison. Oh, dude, that's so creepy. Oh my god. Good job, Average. That is too funny. Alright, I cleaned up those zombie piglins, but I don't think they should just be stored in a box for the rest of their lives. I think I should put them to use. And I think, so this right here is Tinser's base. And Tinser, he's online, but I don't think he's home. If he's home, then these chunks would have been loaded, and that probably wouldn't be here. So, and I suspect, look at what he's got here. He's got frogs. So oh, look at this. He might be partly responsible for the frogs in my base. So I think I should return these piglins into play here. Okay, let's see. And it looks like these might actually already be slabs. Oh, are these already slabs? Nice. Okay, well, sorry for that little distraction there. Just had to clean up some dirty work. So let me talk to you about my plans for my mega base. So I'm taking my inspiration from a Dungeons & Dragons adventure called the Storm King's Thunder. And in that Dungeons & Dragons adventure, there is a castle called, I'm going to pronounce it Lin Armal. And in this adventure, this castle is the home of the cloud giants. So this castle is sitting on top of a cloud, and it houses giants. So it is really big. And I really like the look and feel of this thing, and I kind of wanted to create this in Minecraft. So I decided, why not go ahead and make a mega base out of it? And one thing that's awesome about using a Dungeons & Dragons adventure as inspiration is the builds come with maps. So these maps have like all of the sizes and proportions laid out already for you. They also even have descriptions of what the rooms are used for, at least within the game. If you saw my first season, I used a Dungeons & Dragons map as inspiration for my castle. And I'm going to do the same thing in this season and use this map as inspiration for my mega base. So let me show you what I have going on so far. So As I said, this is a castle that is floating on the clouds, and it is the home of the cloud giants. And here it is coming into view. This thing is really big, so it doesn't all come into view at once. This is the cloud, or clouds, that my castle will be sitting on top of. And this thing is absolutely massive. Let me get up on it and sleep away this night, and I can give you a better view of what's going on here. Just ignore that contraption for now. Okay, so here's what I've got going on, and I'm going to pop into free cam because you're just going to get a better view of what's happening here. So this massive iron platform was the one that I built as, and this is just a platform for the castle to sit on top of. And now I went ahead and built these clouds. So this castle, if you look at the picture, there's two parts. The kind of roundy part is the main castle, and then the front gates, kind of that entrance gate and towers, kind of sits on this second little cloud. So here I went ahead and made both of those clouds, and you can see the footprint for the front gate here and the footprint for the main part of the castle over here. And I went ahead and designed these clouds and built these. These are 100% snow blocks. And underneath here, so I had a challenge here, and you can kind of still see it. I don't know how well it's coming on YouTube rendering, but there's kind of a browning effect down here. So when this was all snow, of course, the bottom of this cloud was black, so because it was dark. So I had to get lighting in it, so I did this lighting inside. And when I just had the lighting kind of sparse, like I did for the floor, you kind of get this browning effect. When you're using a white block, this lighting kind of gives this browning effect. And it looked really bad underneath this cloud. Like, it looked terrible. Like, I called it the burnt marshmallow look. So I had to get these lights closer together. And if you're wondering how that light is coming through, snow blocks actually block light. So I had to use powdered snow to get the lights to shine through. So if you look here where the lights are sitting, you can kind of see the different texture. This is a snow block. This is a powdered snow block. So with the powdered snow block, underneath each one of these lights is a powdered snow block, and that lets the light shine through. Well, with the lights packed this closely together, and you can see just how many I needed, this is the effect I got. And this kind of minimized that browning. You can still notice it, but I think most people, when they're kind of flying to and from this thing, they're really not going to see it because nobody's going to come all up underneath here and really inspect it. But if I wanted to make this go away, I could double up the number of lights and snow powder blocks and go ahead and put one in the center of each of these, and then that would pretty much make this go away. So that's enough of the technical bits. So this is my cloud. So this is just what my build is going to be sitting on, and this thing took me days and days in creative to design, and then days in the world to actually build. So I wanted to show you just to get an idea of some of the materials that I used to build it. So this here are the snow blocks that made up the bulk of the cloud. And this is how many shulkers full of snow blocks I used to build this thing. That's just an insane number of snow blocks. And luckily, Average has a farm for these, which I spent a lot of time at. Now, to get all that powdered snow, the thing with powdered snow is they don't stack, and all you get is 27 in a shulker box at once. And even in your inventory, when you're carrying them around to place them, you can only carry so many at a time. Well, this, starting here, this is how many shulker boxes full of powdered snow that I had to use. And this thing was actually full. I repurposed some of these shulkers for something else. So that's just going to give you an idea of just the insane amount of powdered snow I needed. Okay, now let me address this contraption over here. So seeing how much materials it took just to make like the floor for the castle to sit on and the cloud for the forms the castle's base, the castle itself is going to take just an enormous amount of materials. And I'm talking just the base structure, like the outer walls, the inner walls, and the floors and ceilings. So I decided that I needed to find a block that was going to be relatively easy to get just mass quantities of. and I went with stone. So what I decided is that the outer walls are just going to be a mix of stone and stone brick. Since stone brick is just stone that's been crafted, I don't have to do any extra smelting or anything special to get it. And so I figured I would need a stone generator. I could go mine it, but mining all that stone would just be insane. So I needed to make a farm to generate it. So you can't generate stone unless you're going to sit there and hack at it with a pickaxe, while it's being generated. So I needed to find a cobblestone generator and a smelter. So I found this cobblestone generator online, and I will link to it in my description. It's a really simple build. It goes together real easy. The whole thing fits, like this outer glass I think is 11 by 11, so like it's pretty small. It fits within a chunk, and it generates. I think the video says it generates like 120,000 cobblestone per hour. So it generates it way faster than I can actually use it. I know that. So after the cobblestone is generated from this generator, I need to get it into this array of furnaces here, this smelter. And this is what's going to turn it from cobblestone into stone. So I had a couple challenges here. How do I get the cobblestone into the smelter, and how do I fuel this thing? So let's talk first about transporting the cobblestone. So the tutorial for this for this cobblestone generator kind of ends here at these hoppers. It kind of has these hoppers sticking out underneath, and then he basically shows that you can go up underneath it and do whatever you want for the storage. What I did was I have the original hoppers that are picking up the cobblestone here. Can I target those? There we go, here. And then I have each one of those filtering into a barrel, and that is just to provide back storage of cobblestone in case I need it. And then I have an array of hoppers, taking them out of these barrels and piping them into these dispensers. So this bottom part here is not part of this build. So this is a separate little contraption here, and these are a simple dispenser. Whenever there's items go from this hopper into the dispenser, it pops this piston, pops this observer up, triggers this thing to eject the cobblestone or whatever items go into it. And then whenever there's nothing in the dispenser, this thing drops down. So basically, when this thing is running, these hoppers are constantly like dropping cobblestone into these things, and this thing pretty much goes up and down, up and down, up and down, almost like little pistons in a car engine. and all the while, this whole array of dispensers just starts shooting cobblestone out into this water stream. So this water stream, once they get spit out into this water stream, it transports up the bubble column into, let me get up here. It goes up this bubble column and then over here and then into this array of hoppers up here, which picks up all this cobblestone and kind of throws it. I have chests and hoppers. I didn't really need this many, but I did it at first because I wasn't sure how much backfill I needed. But this is basically just a lot more backfill of cobblestone, and then the cobblestone eventually feeds into the tops of these furnaces right here. So not only is this a stone generator, it really is a cobblestone generator. Like if I needed shulkers worth of cobblestone for something, I could just come and grab it out of any of these, and that would be no problem at all. Now, how do I fuel these furnaces? That was the other challenge, and I found this carpet duper, or carpet duplicator, online, and I'll put a link in the description for that as well. And it's a pretty simple thing. Basically, it's just got this piston that goes back and forth with a carpet on top of it, and some observers and stuff to power it. And this thing basically just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like really fast, like so fast that the server client connection can't even keep up with it. Usually, it looks kind of funny when it's running. And every time this thing goes back and forth, it shoots out a duplicated carpet. And I have 3 of those going up, 1, 2, 3. So whenever I turn this thing on, and this is my little on switch that I made for it, it's this little, I call it the caterpillar. Kind of looks like a little caterpillar, like if you imagine the back of the caterpillar going this way, this is like his little head rearing up. But this little thing, when I power this thing, it pulls those down and it puts those redstone blocks at a point where it's no longer powering these repeaters, and then that turns the duplicators on. Anyway, so the carpet kind of falls, as it's being duplicated, it falls down here and it gets into this water stream, and then that fills up into a back storage of carpets here, and then that ultimately fills up into the back side of the furnaces right here, right there. And of course, once all of these hoppers are full, like right now these hoppers are full because it's not running, but once it started running, you know, of course I'd turn the duplicators on to refill them, but it produces more than it needs to keep it full. So all the extras just kind of drop down here and get destroyed, so I don't lag out the server with tons and tons of entities. So, and then talking about tons and tons of entities, this cobblestone generator, this thing generates cobblestone way faster than those dispensers can spit them out, which is why like all of these barrels are full of cobblestone. So one way, then the back stock or backflow of entities, that, for lack of a better word, basically, while this thing's running, it's constantly creating more cobblestone. And if the cobblestone has nowhere to go, basically what's going to happen is the next TNT that comes down to make the new batch of cobblestone will destroy the ones that are sitting around. So this kind of cleans up the entities itself as it's running. These things are spitting out these into the water stream. And unfortunately, that water stream the dispensers, they're shooting them out at a pace that's too fast for these furnaces to keep up with. Right, so this is the bottleneck, is the speed that these furnaces can actually smelt this cobblestone. So while these cobblestones are coming across the top, they're kind of backfilling what's being used up by the smelting, and then everything extra, again, to stop lag on the server. Once those things are full and it's outpacing the furnaces, everything that's generated will basically just come down and be destroyed in this cactus. So this smelter makes a lot of stone, and it destroys a lot of cobblestone. But just to show you what I've got going on down here, this is just a ridiculously large wall of shulker boxes. So as it comes out of the bottom of the furnaces, they come down these hoppers, and then they fill up all these shulker boxes full of cobblestone. You can see some of them aren't quite full. So this is basically how I'm going to get all the stone I need to build my castle. And right now I've already got, quite a bit of stone that I've generated, and kind of starting on this box here. And then most of these are full. So basically, as I use it and I pop out these shulker boxes to go start, putting blocks on my wall, I'll just put empty ones in its place, turn the machine on, and I can just have the machine running while I'm building the wall, and have this thing constantly producing more stone as I'm using up stone. So I think we're going to wrap up here. I know this has been a whole lot of me just talking about what my plans are, but as you can see, the amount of work that this took, I spent the last couple weeks getting this far, which is why it's been a little while since my last video came out. And I think going forward, at least while I build the structure of this thing, is going to kind of be the same. I'm doing a lot of just behind the scenes, just boring, grindy work. So it might be a little bit between these episodes while I get this base going. But thank you so much for sticking around through my wordy, lengthy descriptions here. And I hope you come back to see the progress on this thing. I think this is really going to turn out really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I would love for you to see how it turns out over the next weeks and months. Well, I think I'm going to take you out with another quick flyby of this build, just so you can see the size and immensity of it. And until I see you next time, you take care of yourself, okay? Bye-bye. I respect the prank, and it was hilarious, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get rid of all these frogs. If you're a little squeamish about frog death, you might want to look away now.